everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a fun little design using round brushes, or a round brush for the petals. And I bought some new round brushes. This is the number 12 that I'm going to be using, and it's a Transon. And then I'll be using a flat brush, a Scruffy brush, and a nail brush because I really like the fingernail brushes. And I have my palette set out with all the paint on it. I'm going to begin by creating the center using the Scruffy brush. I will put the information for the supplies down below this video as well as in the video. So I'm going to put one side into the brown, one side into the yellow, and just kind of do a little blending and see how that works. I could also tip it into the white if I wanted to, just to give it a little bit more variation in colors. I'm going to go ahead and start creating my first center. And if I need to add more paint, I'm just going to go back in and add it to my brush. And I'm trying to make these kind of round shape. But they don't have to be perfect because I will actually go back in and go back over them again once I create the petals. Now I'm going to do 3. Try not to put them too close together, but I want them where you can see them. And like I said, you can spend as much time or little time on the centers. That's up to you. I'm going to use a variation of 3 different shades kind of along the same line. One is berry wine, one is teaberry, another one is magenta. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick my brush and maybe even just tip it into the other 2 colors. And then instead of instead of pushing down the bristles and pulling it towards the center, I'm actually going to start from the center and come out and raise up. So it's a little bit of a variation, even though I am using the round brushes still. It's a little bit of a variation in how I'm creating the actual petals. And again, if you feel like you want to add more colors, you can dip in, or you can find a maybe even lighter pink would be pretty. That's up to you. And I'm keeping them spaced out. I want them spaced. I'm not going to, so I could even tip it into the white if I wanted to give it a little more variation in color. I don't want them to be the same. That's not the intent of this, is not to actually have them be identical. And like I was starting to say, is I do like them to be spaced out. They're not going to be layered. They're just going to be just like what I'm doing here. And if you want to put some, maybe make them not just completely straight out from the flower, and put a little bit of, just a little curve on them, that's fine too. Now I'm going to come up here so it will overlap, and that's fine because when you have flowers together, they're not going to actually all be separated perfectly. They're going to bunch up together as they're growing. And like I said, you can keep working on these, make them similar. I'm going to put a little bit more of a tip on this one. Go like that. Come back in. Even come back up here, add a little bit more variation in color, like that. Excuse me, sorry, I have to keep clearing my throat here. So then what you can do, if you want to give this a little bit of drying time, you're welcome to do so. I like to come back in and go over the centers again while it's still wet. Oh, I think I turned my brush the wrong way. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to come in here, clean it up a little bit. Come here, do the same thing over here. Like I said, you can keep working on your centers and get them to look exactly the way you like them. I'm just doing this quickly for the video, but you get the gist, right? And you could even come in here, and I can do this real quickly with the nail brush, put some white on it, and maybe even come along and just kind of do a little bit of dotting and little lines. And if you don't like this, you can leave that part out. It's up to you. Not a big deal. And like I said, you can make them more line looking if you want to do that instead of just the little touches. Get this out of the way because I feel like I'm putting that in front of the video. Sorry if that's what I was doing. And I like things just to be really kind of random, whimsical kind of thing, not real precise. So if you like it the other way, knock yourself out. Alright, I'm going to go in with this brush, not even cleaning it off. I'm going to go into all the colors I have. I have 3 different greens here, maybe even touch into the yellow, and just keep doing that as I go. And I'm going to make this like each one has a separate stem. Each one has a separate stem. You're coming down, they cross over. And here we go, last one. I know those might be a little hard to see because they are thin. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, if you like to make them thicker, then use like the chisel edge of your brush. Oops, I didn't mean to go over that one. Did not mean to do that. I might even cover it up with a, well, let me get back here. I didn't mean to put that stem over there. Alright, did not mean to do that. Alright, so then what I'm going to do, got my little stems in there, put that brush down, and then I'm going to pick up the flat brush, and I'm dipping it also into all these different colors, and just doing like a light blending stroke. And I just can keep adding color as I want. I know I'm looking at this plate, it's probably very shiny. Sorry about that. Alright, got it. Alright, so let's go here, and then I'm just going to randomly place these leaves. And swing it back like that. And then just figure out where else I might put some leaves randomly on my stems. And come here. Maybe even come up in here. Alright, and I can do maybe one even coming out this way. And like I said, when you're doing this, if you want to give it some dry time before you start painting over it, feel free to do it or hit it with even a heat gun. That could be helpful too. Let's see here, let me get that blended a little bit better. And then we get with the green on the outside more. I like that. And then just keep going. If you feel like that's enough leaves, that's fine. You can also turn this around and then maybe even having some come out from up top here. One thing I like about painting on something that's movable, just that, you can move it around. Alright, let's see here. I think I might just leave it like that. I don't want to get too many going. I can get a little crazy with the leaves. If you follow my painting, you know that that's a true story. Okay, let's see what we got going here now. The shining, when I painted on gloss all the time, I just don't feel like I had that big of an issue, but for some reason, when I'm doing this now, it just feels like I get a lot of glare. I just like to come back in and add the stems in. And some people will actually go through and just do some line work there. I'm not going to do that. If you are someone who likes to see that, feel free to do it. However you want. And then if you want to just do some random lines that just come out. Alright, I think there we have it. I don't know if I got it all in there. I hope I did. And again, with this, if you want to do more leaves, you could even put in just some little filler leaves like this and use a chisel edge. That's what I mean when I'm talking about doing that for the stem, because it would be thicker. It just fills it in. It doesn't even have to be multicolored leaves. You can use just one color and pull on them like that. It just kind of fills it in a little bit more. Or you can just leave it how I have it. I'm just trying to show you some other ways to do it. Little leaves up in here, and there you have it. Nice and easy. If you're new to my channel, please know that the intent of my paintings are to be easy for beginner painters to give it a try. Don't be intimidated by it. Just sit down, grab a paintbrush. You don't have to have the paintbrushes I have. Use what you have. You don't have to use the paint I use. Use what you have. My designs can be painted on anything because, like I said, I used to paint on glass all the time, and I'm not really selling the glassware anymore, so that's why I came back to just painting on a surface that I can show you designs on. So again, I hope you like this video. I am doing a light sound bath in the background. Enjoy that as well. Sit back, relax, and I hope you come back. And until the next time, stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one. See you next time.